Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop, stop, stop. Copyrighted. Copyrighted content. There we go. Much better. Well, you know I had to do something for Blade Runner. It's November 20th, 2019. This is when the Blade Runner events happen. This is when they start. And so I'm going to stream a little something. Do not take shots. Do not get alcohol poisoning. But it's something that I think is about 9 years old that was updated. So I'm going to use this as an excuse to talk a little bit about Blade Runner and why I like it, and also to check this out, because someone spent a year making this, apparently. Also, this is not going to work, like, amazingly. It's going to work a little bit like shit. But I think you'll get the idea. You know, because it's old, I'm using a different version of Minecraft. Let's see. A newer version. So, that's it. Is that a cactus? Vignette play Vangelis music. So the Vangelis music will get this video shut down, like, completely. So I have to be very careful about that. But, already pretty good. I mean, I haven't seen this. So this is someone's life for like a year. Someone said my character look does not complement the theme. What, a tree? That's great. I can't even open my inventory, so things are just totally fucked. Sushi, that's what my ex-wife called me. Cold fish. Oh my god. Yeah, things are a little fucked up. That's an emerald. That sounds like my favorite, League of Legends character, Kremrald. I guess that's an emerald. And that's a map that I can't pick up. But, otherwise, pretty decent looking fake Deckard apartment. Paper. It's a unicorn. Arrow. Leather cap. Read me. Okay, if you say so. Torch, which does not work. Vinny, it's because you're in adventure mode. Should I, like, not be in adventure mode? Yeah, I don't know either. Well, I guess we'll find out. I have the bullets, but not the Blade Runner gun. Torches don't work. Oh god. Oh, it's gonna be a nightmare to see things in the dark. This is a map, for my Bladecraft texture pack inspired by my all-time favorite movie, Blade Runner. Go see it, seriously. There are no quests or riddles, but there's a lot to explore. I recommend you play peaceful, but there are items, weapons, and food to find throughout the map if you want to push up the difficulty. Please don't break blocks. This map is intended as is, and just will get behind bounds. Oh. A new life awaits you in the off-world colonies. A chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity and adventure. So wait. It's not gonna be peaceful? Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Again, I just needed an excuse. I was gonna do the, oh god. I was even considering doing the, Deckard's apartment, map again. Let's see. But this works instead. Vinny, is Blade Runner a good movie? Should I watch it? I think we do this like once every couple weeks. Or once a month. I don't know. If you'll like it, I like it. Some people don't have the capacity for it. Some people don't like it. Some people don't have the attention span for it. Some people think it's a bad movie. But it's got a weird cult following of idiots like myself who happen to think it's kind of a masterpiece. That said, I can acknowledge that the movie is kind of fucked up in some ways. And the final cut is the best version of the film. So I'd recommend that. Again, this was designed for an older version of Minecraft, so things are gonna be kinda fucky. Noodles. Let me get oh no, this is the lady that sells Deckard the alcohol. Blade Runner is critically acclaimed, my dude, says a chat member. Yeah, it is, but it's still critics. There are people that don't like it, that didn't like it then, that don't like it now. But visually, the movie probably still holds up, especially if you watch it on Blu-ray, and if you take into account that it was made completely practically. It's just a really, really great movie, and considering today is November 20th, 2019, this is the last day that you could possibly say that Blade Runner takes place in the future. Even though that's no longer possible. Now it's the present. It's just simply the present. Someone wrote 2046, my dude. I think you meant 2049, like Blade Runner 2049, but you didn't. You got a couple years off from that. Vinny, it's going to be weird saying Blade Runner takes place in the past. Well, the weird thing about Blade Runner now is that it did get some stuff right. But the expectation of flying cars and people living off-world was kind of based on the fact that in 1982, it was only like 13 years removed since we first went to the moon. And I think we were still going to the moon as late as, the 70s. I don't know when. I don't know when the last time we've been to the moon was. It was like 73, 74, 72. So it had been 10 years since people went to the moon. So I guess the expectation was that, well, of course we're going to get flying cars. Of course there's going to be off-world colonies. By 2019, that's like 30-something years into the future. Back to the Future 2 takes place 2015. Yeah, I feel like that's actually probably even a little bit more... Oh, there's the inventory. That feels a little bit more accurate. Even though we don't have holograms still. You become pregnant by a man who runs off with your best friend and decide to get an abortion. Now you want to hear the funny thing is? This past Saturday when I went to that Blade Runner event, and I got a Voight-Kampff test, where they give you an empathy test to prove if you're a human or a replicant. They asked me this exact question. You can imagine my confusion. Well, it was a question the way they posed it, and there was multiple choice answers. The last answer was always like, piss off cop, or eat a dick authority, whatever it was, or like beep boop I am a robot. So it was like 3 decent multiple choice answers, and then the last one was always a joke, or it was always just like I am a robot, bop bop bop. I don't know why robots go bop bop bop, but that is definitely the future. Which is another thing that Blade Runner got wrong. So we don't have flying cars. We don't have androids that are basically, as they call them in the movie, skin jobs. We don't have that. We do have phones. Don't you people have phones? Well, you do, and so do I, and that's the thing that makes it magical. We have good LCDs, we have LEDs, we have LSD. We've got some stuff that's pretty interesting at this point in time. We've got video games that are pretty, like Minecraft. LLCs, yeah. DLC. DMC2. We got, DDR. DRM, unfortunately. So we have a lot of different numbers. And Atari is definitely not what it used to be. Even though Atari... Is that Atari system still happening? Because in the movie... Atari is still a big brand, and as Deckard's flying around, and as you're walking through the city, and you're looking around, you see a bunch of Atari logos. And I guess it just seemed like in 1982 that Atari would be around forever. Yeah, they had the same Atari logo in 2049 as well. They just went with that reality. Like, that's like they... treated it like it was an alternate reality. I want that damn gun. Yeah. Some of this is vaguely Blade Runner, and some of it is very much not. But yeah, Atari is definitely something that showed up. That, there's like I talked about this on a previous stream, I'd imagine, but like a Blade Runner curse that people talked about. Like most of the brands, like TWA was featured prominently in Blade Runner. So there's a lot of brands that were being promoted that were used as predictions for stuff that would still be around that ended up totally imploding in on itself. Like, here's the tunnel. Kind of. Here's a version of the tunnel that's actually really in LA. Vinny, are you missing the painting retextures, or are they not working? They have Coke and Atari ads. Well, you can see I've got Bladecraft here. I downloaded everything that was given. This might look better with Silder's shaders. I thought that too. I have no options to install shaders or to put them on. Anyway, it is now officially November 21st, 2019 here in the East Coast, which means that Blade Runner officially takes place in the past now. Need Optifine for some shader mods. Yeah, no, there is Optifine. Optifine is installed. It is. It's just, again, old mod. I probably didn't install it 100% correctly, but I don't know what compatibility there would be for something like this. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, this definitely has some, like, it's got those things these fucking wall panels. Vinny, did you select the correct launch of Minecraft? Yes. Chat is saying you downloaded an old version without the textures. Well, these are the textures. The paintings? Alright, well, I mean, paintings aside. Hey, if anyone gets this, like, completely working with Silder shaders and it looks really cool, maybe, send me an email or something. I thought this was a bone. Is there any spinners that I can get in? No. I guess this is the repair shop. God damn it, give me that. So in any case, I'll spend just a little bit more time on this. Just because I feel like it's something that I do appreciate the amount of work that went into this, and it's weird because there's like Blade Runner has a really dedicated group of fans, and yet the new movie still didn't sell like amazingly well. There's a chance that we may never get another Blade Runner movie, which maybe is fine. And apparently there was an event in Los Angeles where a bar was set up to look like something from the movie, and they put a ton of effort into it, and it was like a November 2019 Blade Runner party, and like 7 people showed up. To put that into perspective, the one I went to was infinitely shittier, and like 35 people showed up. But you know, I guess that's life. What part of the city is this exactly? Are these like slums underneath like a bridge? Not sure what's going on here. So yeah, it has its fans, but I've showed the movie to people that did not like it. So I'm well aware that it's not for everybody, and I also showed it to someone that fell asleep watching it. And there's that, but I also showed it to people who ended up loving it. So it's definitely a hit or miss kind of thing for, you know, it clicks or it doesn't. In my case, it clicked on the second viewing. The first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, Harrison Ford. I was like, Han Solo. Hang on a minute. And then I watched the movie, and like he's really kind of boring in the movie. Not like it's not a bad performance. I think it's a good performance, but he's not Han Solo. Definitely not Han Solo. He's basically cold fish. Ow. Imagine me dying while looking around on the Blade Runner mod. Where am I? What's going on? Oh. Okay, never mind. The love interest is pretty forced. Well, I think it was handled poorly, but I also know that that was one of her first acting roles, and apparently the chemistry between her and Ford was oil and water. So, and she kept laughing during takes, and it screwed up a lot of the love interest stuff, which ended up being a pretty core premise of the movie, which is, spoilers, that Blade Runner falls in love with his prey. Like, the hunter falls in love with the hunted. And he, like, kind of you discover throughout the movie that the replicants are probably actually more human than human, as they say. And display more humanity than the people who are all kinds of fucked up and depressed. Especially Harrison Ford, you know, because he's just, like, a mess and, like, kind of a dick. So you watch the movie, you realize, like, oh, wait a minute, the replicants are much more interesting, and maybe even kind of make a point about about because they know they have a limited lifespan, They actually want to live life more fully than a bunch of depressed assholes walking around LA. So anyway, that's the thing that I kind of like about the movie, that I don't think it has a very good story. I think it's mostly just a visual piece that does delve into some interesting, like, topics, but it doesn't... Not everyone gets it right away, and not everyone sees every angle. But the story itself is just a dude hunting a bunch of replicants, and then, you know, his ex-wife calls him sushi. But it's supposed to be a noir film. It's a detective noir movie set in the future. It's future noir. And it's good. And the gun is cool. And the visuals are cool. And the music... For me, what kept me going with this movie... Golden Sword, huh? Okay. It's like a stun baton, I guess. The thing that kept me going with this movie for as long as I went with it, like to give it another chance and to see it a couple more times, is because I thought the miniatures, the setting... Like, I wasn't overly interested in cyberpunk. I thought it was cool, but when I saw the movie the second or third time, something, like, completely clicked. I think it might have been the combination between Vangelis' soundtrack and the visuals. And that's kind of what got me into it as much as I got into it. And then watching the, like, 4-hour making of about how they made the sets, how they made the miniatures, how horrendous the set was, how everybody at one point hated Ridley Scott. The dude was just a straight up, like, dick while making the movie, and not a private dick. And him and Harrison Ford had a lot of arguments. Like, for example, Harrison Ford is convinced that Deckard is human. Ridley Scott, who changes his mind... oh, interesting. Thinks that Deckard is a replicant. But the truth is, there's no real clear answer. Even though Ridley filmed... He filmed the movie with the intent of kind of throwing some clues in there, like the unicorn. That whole unicorn angle was exactly a way to say, hey, look. Oh, skull. That's not very Blade Runner-y. Like, hey, look. Here's a clue that Gaff can see into his memories. And that's the kind of stuff I like, too. Like, there's a lot of little hints and there's a lot of subtleties, and the world building is really good. And it definitely takes a lot from Philip K. Dick's book, but it doesn't do the exact... It's like an adaptation that feels like its own thing, and people seem to either love it or hate it. And there are Philip K. Dick fans that think it's just trashes the original material, which I get. What else? Yeah, there's a lot of good behind-the-scenes stuff, and that's part of what makes the movie fun. Another thing that I like about Blade Runner, just purely from, like, an interest standpoint, is that you have shit like Star Trek and Star Wars that are massive. They got tons of merchandise, tons of documentaries. There's so much... Like, there's so much Star Trek. There's now so much Star Wars. There's so many action figures, so many pieces of merchandise. Blade Runner never really had that kind of fame, so while it means a lot to people, it's kind of really hard and rare to find something Blade Runner related, so when I find it, I'm excited. That's kind of a cool thing. It just feels like my thing, you know, and I like that about it. I like that the whole world feels like real, like there's punks. There's gunks, there's skunks, there's monks. There's a whole fuckload of everything when you're watching the movie. Let's see. I'm gonna go this way. Clearly I'm having trouble actually... Oh, this thing is freezing up on me. Clearly I'm having trouble finding my way around. So I'm just gonna walk around aimlessly again, but with some intent this time. Let's see, what building is this? I don't think this is the police station. I don't really know what this is. But, this person built a lot of fucking apartments. Food? You would think that, like, in the world of Blade Runner, they don't have real carrots. The fuck is this a bathroom? I can't really tell. Just to talk for a second about 2049. I don't know if anyone here has seen it or not, but I think 2049 is equally an accomplishment. Almost, for me, even a little bit better than the original. And it does everything it should do and more, I think. I think it's great, and I think Ryan Gosling is good in it, and he wears a cool jacket. And that's a rare fucking thing. To make a sequel to a movie like that and have it be just as good, if not better. So that's pretty fucking cool. That's what happens when you have a really, really good director who wants to make his own story and not just retread. And it's not even really a soft reboot. Some people would say that. Maybe you could consider it that, but for me it just feels like another look into this world with a completely different theme. But similar stuff, it happens, and then there's, you know, Deckard, but it's the story of Ryan Gosling, and well, Kay. And I think it works great, and they used miniatures, they used sets, they did all the same types of shit, except they just made it look a little bit prettier with CG. Nexus 6. That building is really, really big. I wonder if I can get in there and go all the way to the top. No. Chat, well, I was gonna say, how do I fly? But... okay, I'm gonna save and quit to title. I want to go here. How do I, like, do creative? Huh? Game mode creative? Open LAN, enable cheats. I don't know where that is again. Open LAN type. Game mode creative. You gotta be in-game, okay. I just want to fly around for a second. Here. Escape and click open to LAN. I see. And then restart or no? No, it's good. Okay, so no clip. Please. No clip. Okay. And then, okay. No clip. Okay, we're good. Wow. Look at all of this that I was missing. There's even a whole fucking... Look at this. Mercer? Oh, that's a cool reference. That's the religion, but only in the book. They didn't cover that in the movie. There's the Coke sign. Nexus 6 again. The Yukon. Get in there now. Finally, I can destroy blocks. Finally. I know I was told not to, but... Oh, definitely not supposed to be in there. The sound of the rain is very sporadic and very spotty. Is this the blimp? Yep, this is the blimp. It's advertising Donkey Kong. This is the apartment building where the ending takes place. I think this is where, JF Sebastian lives. So this is supposed to be like the Bradbury, I guess? No, the Yukon. Good. That's the Yukon. Try using the door? Well, what fun would that be? The only thing I really, really want right now is the gun. I just want to be able to shoot. I'm assuming the police station would have the gun. Is this the seawall? I think that's supposed to be the seawall. Vinny, you are in creative. That doesn't mean I can't shoot. Get bow and creative. Open inventory in creative. Oh. Alright. There you go. Bull. There it is. That was underwhelming. Still very, very good. Very nice work here. This is, good. You can do... I don't know what the hell you could do with this, but maybe you could find something to do with this. Someone somewhere probably has played on this for a while. Someone said RP. Yeah, I mean, that's how it was advertised. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Blade Runner is officially 18 minutes in the past, and... the Tyrell Pyramid is in this map too, and it's near the Nexus 6 buildings. Okay, alright, 1 second, hang on a minute, I have some work to do here. I just gotta find the Tyrell Pyramid. Oh shit. Is this... Yo. Is this that? I guess it's maybe supposed to- yeah, it kinda is supposed to be that. I think it's supposed to be, like, small for scale purposes. Just for the effect of it. Cool though. And the Tyrell Pyramids are probably, compared to the rest of the buildings, like 3 times the size of all that. So yeah, this is a little small. But it's here. True story, real quick. They only made one of these, and they only made, this side of it, I believe. And then they just composited them side to side to make it look like there were 2 pyramids. So they were, you know, miniatures. And they have it. The Tyrell Pyramid is actually available to see in Queens, New York. As I've shown you many times on the stream. Why did Tyrell build pyramids anyway? I guess he fancies himself some kind of god. And there you go. Yeah, that'll be, Vinny, put TNT everywhere. It will be funny. How about this? We'll try a little bit of that TNT, just for a second. Just for a second. How do I light these? I don't know how to do it. Try fire or redstone. I don't play Minecraft for 2 months and I just forget everything. Flint and steel is just a lighter now. That was kind of okay. It wasn't like, haha, the big funny. This will be. You like how I've tried to end this stream like 3 times by now? End it with a bang. Alright. Well, Tyrell Corporation needs to have this building demolished anyway. And that was an abrupt end to the music. That didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, by any means. It just became fireworks. Okay. We're done. We're done. Except one thing. Someone wanted me to blow up this. God damn, the movement speed. I like how most of my Minecraft streams that aren't my own world end up devolving into, let's blow everything up. This is only mildly entertaining at this point. I tried my best, everybody. And as Ridley Scott's other character once said, "Are you not entertained?" Alright, so that's Blade Runner. Again, I would recommend checking it out. It's 2 movies. That's it. It's not a huge investment. You might like it, you might not, but it's, you know, it's a good movie. I like it. And people that I've showed the movie to either fall asleep or love it. Flip a coin. All right. Let's do a little bit of Star Wars. I'll do the Star Wars game. And then I'll do the dreams after that. It's not that. Okay, hang on 1 second, everybody. I need some kind of liquid. I only have 1 liquid in this house, and that's water. All right, so I'm not fancy. It's either that or coffee creamer.